Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. For anybody that's new to the channel, my name is Tim. This is Freight Master Resources, where we provide tips, tools, resources, sprinkle in some industry news, breaking news like today, and to help you grow and be more successful as a freight broker, and to warn you about certain things going on in the industry, like I'm about to go over with you. Again, don't forget to check out my recommended tools and services in the description down below. If there's something in there that I don't have, I do have more favorite tools that I use, and services. Those are a couple of my uber favorites, I guess. With that being said, we'll dive into it. We made it to Wednesday. Okay. So I hope everybody's having a great day. And without any further ado, let's get into it. So, breaking news, there is an Ocean's 11 style freight heist underway. There is currently insider information from a freight broker who is dealing with this situation. The Bannon report states that Zap Transportation, MC number 434847, steals freight. They will continue to steal freight from freight brokers who are not aware and may have had this carrier in their system already. They will remain an active carrier with the FMCSA until such time as Northland Insurance cancels their policy. Then they will have another red flag against them, a midterm cancellation, which is something the next freight broker will notice when vetting this carrier. Okay, quick sidebar. We've talked about this before, about due diligence, properly vetting carriers, even if they're already in your system. Okay? Don't just consider that to be a green light. Okay? You have got to at least do some checks if they're already in your system. Okay? And while, any of us could potentially get caught off guard, it is extremely important. I have heard so many horror stories of, oh, well, I didn't realize their insurance had canceled and they already picked up the load. Okay. Had you checked, right? Even though they were in your system, there's situations like that I've heard of. So but it hadn't caught up, right, on the FMCSA. So, but if you checked, it's there. Okay. Again, and I do not personally agree, and let me know in the comments if you don't agree with my opinion, that I do not believe that any non-U.S. citizens should be allowed to have authority in our country, right? Because I truly feel like, this kind of thing is just going to keep happening, because there's no, you look at like double brokering and these scams and things like this. Ultimately, what are they going to do? They're going to travel overseas to go arrest them? No. So there really is no punishment for them. Okay? So, not to really any huge extent, right? And the driver themselves might not even be aware of what's kind of going on behind the scenes. They get caught up in it. Potentially they might be, fully knowing what's going on, but they might, have just been told to stop or, to take this load here or wherever. And they're clueless, right? They're just doing what their dispatcher told them to do. So again, and I hope that this doesn't offend anyone, but I just, to help cut down on the fraud that's going on in our industry, or any industry for that matter, I just don't think that, doing business outside of, you know what I mean? So it seems like every day the freight industry in the U.S. hears of a new scam or fraud involving overseas dispatchers, like I mentioned a moment ago. Overseas scammers find new ways or new creative ways of defrauding our industry, and this time is no different. Like I mentioned earlier, there's currently insider information from the freight broker who's dealing with this situation. And he is quoted as saying, a carrier sold their MC to someone overseas. They bought it, put together an almost Ocean's 11 style bank heist type situation, excuse me, and hit over a dozen and counting brokers, right? They are currently in possession of over 24 loads, holding them hostage and demanding money before delivery is made. Now, how does this affect those customers and those consignees? Okay. Brokers, if you don't want to lose your customers, vet your carriers, even if they're already in the system. Okay? Because they will kick your butt to the curb. All right? The freight broker is asked to remain anonymous at the moment, but will send more information as they have it. Okay? The MCs involved are Agility Express, MC number 1089634, and Zap Transportation, MC number 434847. And here are some of the key details. All right. In a coordinated attack over a span of 3 to 5 days, they targeted more than a dozen freight brokers, including major names. Right. And for those of you that got caught up in this, again, while it can still happen, simple oversight, whatever. To get everybody, like, it just seems, I don't know, maybe just in a hurry with the holidays and things kind of that have been, happening, with the 4th. Hostage loads. These scammers hijacked over 24 loads, holding them hostage and demanding ransom payments before agreeing to deliver the goods. That is, even if they even do deliver them, right? That stuff might not even be where it says it is, and they've already unloaded the truck and are in the process of selling it off or doing whatever they do with it. The massive financial impact, millions of dollars worth of freight are currently unaccounted for, causing significant financial distress to the affected brokers. Not just the brokers, but to the shippers and receivers, right? So, again, quick reminder, your cybersecurity, number one, right? Don't click on anything that seems at all suspicious. There's probably videos out there to go over, cybersecurity if you don't already have a training program in place for your agents or your team. But it would be well advised that you do so. And again, I can't stress this enough. Vet, right? Even if they're already in your system. And I know it seems like an extra step, and it's more time out of our day to do something that shouldn't even be happening, but it is what it is until this whole thing gets shut down, right? And not even just this situation, but it happens everywhere, right? You can go through, some of the past videos where I've talked about fraud in our industry. And again, I just don't believe that if you're, operating out of a foreign country, that you should be allowed to have authority to move freight, whether you're a carrier or a broker, especially a broker, right? So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Again, do your due diligence. Do not work with those MC numbers, because they're just going to keep hitting everybody as many times as they can until they finally get stopped. So with that, I hope everybody has a good day. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? So yeah. Anywho, have a great day. Do your vetting. Be safe out there. And as always, be kind to one another. Bye-bye now.